Cold Reckoning presents. He said she'd never survive without him. 3 years later, she fixed his books. Then she sent the bill. Not in anger, not during a fight. He said it the way someone states a fact they've verified many times and no longer feel the need to argue. You wouldn't last 6 months without me. You don't know how money works. He said it at the kitchen table, over dinner she had cooked, in a life she had built around his. She didn't respond. She had learned over 11 years that responding was rarely worth what it cost. She cleared the plates, washed the dishes, and somewhere in those 20 minutes, she made a decision so quiet it didn't feel like a decision at all. Her name was Katherine Mercer, 41 years old, 11 years married. An accounting degree from James Madison University she had never used professionally. Because David had suggested, early in their marriage, that it made more sense for her to manage the household. She had managed the household, raised 2 children, and kept his books, unpaid, for 8 of their 11 years. She knew how money worked. She knew better than he did, but she had never said so. Until she didn't need to anymore. Subscribe to Cold Reckoning right now. What Katherine built in the 3 years after she left is the kind of story that only sounds impossible until you understand what she had been preparing for without knowing it. The divorce took 8 months. David had a good attorney, Katherine had a better one, and 11 years of financial records she had maintained herself. She moved into a 2-bedroom apartment in Richmond with her daughters. 14 months of expenses. After that, she needed income. 6 weeks of applications, 6 weeks of interviews with people 10 years younger, who looked at her employment gap with the expression of someone trying to be polite about a problem they can't solve. After 6 weeks, she stopped applying. She opened a business instead. She called it Mercer Financial Services. Her first client was her neighbor, a photographer terrified of the IRS. She organized 3 years of his records, found 2 missed deductions, charged him $180. He referred her to his sister. Month 6, 11 clients. Month 12, a part-time assistant. She was not surviving, she was building. Have you ever discovered that what someone called your weakness was actually where all your strength had been hiding? Drop it in the comments. By year 2, 23 clients, 2 full-time employees, a real office on West Broad Street, and a specialization, construction and contracting bookkeeping, the most complicated bookkeeping in the industry. Project-based accounting, subcontractor payments, lien waivers, retention calculations. She had learned it during David's home renovations. Managing contractor payments, tracking lien releases, building project spreadsheets in the evenings while David was at the office. Unpaid, unacknowledged. The most valuable professional training she had ever received. Law firms started calling, real estate developers, a regional construction company with 40 employees. She hired a 3rd employee, moved into a larger office. She barely thought about David at all, which was itself a kind of victory she hadn't expected. The referral came through a law firm she had worked with for 8 months. A new client, small property development company. Books needed cleaning before a bank meeting. Her office manager took the intake call, noted the company name, Mercer Development Group. Katherine thought it was a coincidence. She assigned the account to herself. She always took construction accounts personally. The first document was the incorporation paperwork. She opened it to check the ownership structure. Principal, David Allen Mercer, Richmond, Virginia. She set the paperwork down, sat very still for a long moment. He had named his new company after their shared last name. The name on the door of her office, the name on the website his attorney had found. He had hired his ex-wife. Without knowing it, subscribe to Cold Reckoning and share this with someone who was told they couldn't and is building the proof that they can. She thought about it for exactly 48 hours. She could recuse herself, assign the account, send a note about a conflict of interest. What she decided to do was finish the work. Completely, perfectly, the same precision she brought to every account. His books were a moderate disaster, the kind of chaos that happens when a smart person who doesn't understand bookkeeping manages finances by instinct. She found $23,000 in miscategorized expenses. She restructured the project accounting. She built a clean financial package for the bank meeting. She did not cut corners. She did not slow down. She did the best work of her professional life, because that was who she was now. Then she sent the invoice. Standard rate, no discount, no premium, exactly what the work was worth. $4,800, her company name at the top, Mercer Financial Services, Katherine Mercer, Principal. The invoice was opened at 9:14 a.m. on a Wednesday, 5 times in the first hour. Then her phone rang. She let it go to voicemail. "Katherine, I didn't know. Call me." She did not call him. She sent one reply email. Payment is due within 30 days per standard terms. Please reference invoice 2024-089. Thank you for your business. The invoice was paid in 11 days. Full amount, no dispute. A handwritten note arrived a week later. 2 sentences. The books were perfect. I'm sorry it took me this long to see it. She read it once, put it in a folder in her bottom drawer. She was done carrying things that belonged to him. He said she'd never survive without him. She built a company, fixed his books, sent the invoice. Payment cleared in 11 days. Full amount, no dispute. That is Cold Reckoning. Subscribe. New story tomorrow. Share this with someone who was told they couldn't and is building the proof that they can.